And welcome back to Black Renaissance. Let's continue our conversation with author Walter Mosley. We've been talking about your book, Charcoal Joe, but I also want to talk about some writing you did recently about Muhammad Ali, the death of Muhammad Ali. I've seen in interviews you talk about the lack of black male heroes in literature. Yeah. And certainly, as you write about Muhammad Ali, there's an example of a great black male hero in life. You wrote recently, he rose head and shoulders above us, but those shoulders were broad enough to allow us to climb up there with him and see that we're in this together. What was it about Muhammad Ali that inspired you?
You know, in the beginning of that essay, I talk about a kid, you know, I was 15 years old, kid says to me, what do you think about Vietnam? You know, because we were worried about it back then. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I know two things. Number one, I don't want to get killed. Number two, I have no desire to kill the Vietnamese people. Even when I said that, I said, why am I saying this? Where did that come from? Why am I even thinking that? And then sometime later I realized, oh, it's because Muhammad Ali said it, you know, in other words, but Muhammad Ali said that, and I went, wow, he's so powerful that he's thinking for me, mm-hmm. and I don't even know it. Mm-hmm. You know, it was that incredible thing, you know, him saying he was the greatest and me not understanding even what he meant. But that it was true. Him talking a man off a roof who was about to jump off the roof. Him going to Iran to help free hostages. He went back and forth, taking them out of Iran. Him protecting white reporters who were being, you know, kind of closed in on by his bodyguards. And he just, like, you know, moving them aside. Said, no, man, we're all peaceful here. Right. You know, it's just like almost everything he did was ideally and perfectly who we were and what we were. And because he was a working man, I mean, to say he used his body and sweat and blood to do his work, everybody understood him. You identify with him. It's not like some guy in a suit saying, well, I'm your leader. It's a guy who's like you. Yeah, who was actually in there doing it in the trenches, and not only taking it beyond just what his work was as a sports figure. I mean, he truly was extremely political, very proud. Well, political and human, but not letting his humanity be separate from his politics. The other day, I did a talk at the New York Public Library with Kareem AbdulJabbar, and Kareem, you know, saying, you know, kind of in a funny way, he says, well, I always considered myself Ali's little brother, you know. And, you know, I said, oh, really? His little brother, huh? Yeah, you know, his 7'2" little brother. But you know, I think that he had such an incredible, and not only that, he made all of these controversial decisions, but over the years he convinced us that he was right. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't that he was wrong and he came back into the fold. He said, no, I'm right, and you people need to come over here with me. He was just way ahead of his time? Way ahead of his time. And, you know, and he was unique. I mean, you don't find many people like that in life. You know? He was funny, he was charming, he was intelligent, he was entertaining, and he was fast, and he was amazing at what he did as well. So a great hero passing. When we talk about heroes, you know, Easy Rawlins is a hero. He's a black male hero, and I think you said that you've seen black male protagonists in literature, but not necessarily heroes. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people will write about black men as the protagonist, the person who's moving the fiction, the drama forward. And people can identify with that person. But a hero is somebody you want to be, somebody you want to hang out with, somebody who you want to be your lover. You know, like they're the person who expands your heart. Mm-hmm. And those are the kind of characters that I like to create. And I like to do it with black men because nobody else does it, and that's, you know, that's not completely true, but it's almost true. Almost true. Yeah. There's certainly a dearth of characters like Easy Rawlins, and in some ways, you know, we look at it and he's a detective, and you almost want him to transcend race, and it's like that's sort of the objective. But clearly, he runs into a lot of. I mean, he runs into issues. I just finished reading the portion where he runs into this cop in the diner, and you know, has his run in, and you know, it's like he's a guy who wants to just have a sandwich at a counter in the 60s. Let me say this. Number one, I don't believe in the existence of white people. The idea of saying there's a white race is ridiculous, or a black race, or whatever. That's the first thing. But if there were white and black people that are actually separate genetically or something, the issue wouldn't be for the black person to transcend race. It would be for the white person. Black people don't need to transcend race. We're okay the way we are. You know, it's the problems being visited upon us by somebody who doesn't know how to transcend race. That's the problem. You know, and I always think that, you know, and that's why I write these books. Otherwise, I could write about, you know, so-called white characters, which would, you know, not make any sense.
Keep writing about black characters. We love these books. I love Charcoal Joe so far. I'm going to finish this thing and just eat it alive. Thank you so much for the book.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the show. We so appreciate having you.
Great to be here.
For more information about Charcoal Joe, you can log on to waltermosley.com. That's waltermosley.com. You can buy the book anywhere. I'm going to get my signed copy. You get yours. We'll be right back with more Black Renaissance right after this.